Have you ever wondered why some thoughts stick with you long after you've heard them? Or why certain moments feel like turning points in your life? What if the answers you seek about happiness, healing, and self-sabotage were hidden in plain sight, scattered across the everyday? How often do you pause to consider who you really are beneath the noise of expectation and distraction? Or question the stories you tell yourself about love, fear, and purpose? What if you could gather 101 eye-opening perspectives to challenge, comfort, and change you? Ready to embark on a journey through the mind's uncharted territories and the heart's deepest corners? Let's open the pages of 101 essays that will change the way you think and see what new questions and answers await. 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think is a collection of thought-provoking reflections that dives deeply into the fabric of daily existence, self-awareness, and the emotional patterns that shape who we become. The book is less about providing direct answers and more about inviting readers to reconsider, reframe, and reimagine the way they see themselves in the world. Each essay stands alone but also weaves into a larger tapestry of personal growth, healing, and understanding. Unpacking the self, identity, and awareness. The essays begin by encouraging deep self-examination. What beliefs and stories have you inherited about who you are? How much of your identity is a result of conscious choice versus unconscious conditioning? The book explores how much of our suffering comes from resisting reality or holding on to outdated narratives about ourselves. It suggests that real change starts with awareness, becoming brutally honest about your fears, triggers, and desires. A recurring idea is that thoughts are not facts, just passing clouds in the sky of the mind. By observing thoughts without attachment or judgment, one can begin to untangle from self-sabotaging patterns. The book urges readers to step beyond the autopilot mode and become mindful architects of their lives. The book urges readers to step beyond the autopilot mode and become mindful architects of their lives. Healing and emotional resilience. The essays examine the process of healing, not as a linear journey, but as an ongoing cycle of confronting discomfort, feeling deeply, and letting go. Healing, it argues, is less about fixing oneself and more about allowing every emotion to be felt and integrated. The essays highlight the importance of self-compassion and the necessity of sitting with pain rather than numbing or avoiding it. They also explore the paradox of happiness. That true contentment often arises not from seeking pleasure or avoiding pain, but from embracing both the beauty and the messiness of life. The book questions the myth that happiness is a permanent state, and instead posits that meaning and purpose come from growth, acceptance, and connection. Relationships and human connection. Relationships, both with others and oneself, are central themes. The essays challenge the idea that another person can complete you, arguing instead for personal wholeness as the foundation of healthy relationships. They delve into attachment styles, communication patterns, and the tendency to project unresolved wounds onto others. Central to these reflections is the notion that relationships act as mirrors. The way we react to others often reveals hidden beliefs or unhealed parts of ourselves. The book encourages readers to use relationship challenges as opportunities for self-discovery and growth, rather than as reasons for blame or withdrawal. Fear, risk, and taking action. Fear is painted not as an enemy, but as a messenger. The essays invite readers to listen to their fears, understand their origins, and use them as guides for growth. Rather than seeing fear as a stop sign, the book suggests it can be a compass, pointing toward what matters most or what needs to be healed. Procrastination, perfectionism, and overthinking are explored as subtle forms of self-sabotage. The essays suggest that waiting for the perfect moment or ideal conditions is often an excuse to avoid discomfort. Instead, growth requires action, messy, uncertain, but necessary. The book empowers readers to pursue their goals not in the absence of fear, but alongside it. Mindfulness and the present moment. A significant thread throughout the essays is the power of the present moment. Many of life's anxieties stem from living in the past, regret, guilt, or the future, worry, anticipation. The book encourages grounding oneself in the now through breath, observation, and acceptance. Mindfulness, it suggests, is not just meditation, but a way of living, paying attention, slowing down, and fully experiencing life as it unfolds. The pursuit of meaning and purpose. Rather than chasing happiness as a fleeting feeling, the essays urge the pursuit of meaning. Purpose, the book argues, often comes from service, creativity, and authentic self-expression. It challenges the reader to stop seeking external validation and to define success on their own terms. The essays also address the fear of missing out and the pressure to constantly improve oneself. They encourage embracing imperfection and recognizing that being present and engaged with life is itself a form of success. Practical wisdom and life strategies. Throughout the book, practical advice is woven into each essay. Suggestions range from setting boundaries and letting go of toxic relationships to practicing gratitude and reframing negative thoughts. The essays also explore the importance of routine, discipline, and small daily habits in shaping a meaningful life. The book's tone is both compassionate and challenging, urging readers to take radical responsibility for their experiences. Life, it suggests, is less about the circumstances you face and more about the perspective you bring. Letting go and moving forward. Change is a central theme. The essays emphasize that letting go of old identities, relationships, beliefs is essential for growth. This process can be painful, but it is necessary for transformation. The book encourages embracing uncertainty and trusting that discomfort is often the birthplace of new beginnings. The closing essays reflect on the cyclical nature of growth. As you evolve, new challenges and questions arise. The journey of self-awareness and understanding is ongoing, but each step brings greater freedom and authenticity. Bringing it all together. 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think is a mosaic of insights, questions, and reflections. It does not promise easy answers, but it does offer powerful tools for navigating the complexities of being human. The central message is that you are not defined by your past, your thoughts, or your fears. By becoming more conscious of yourself, your choices, and the world around you, you can change not just your mind, but your entire life. This is a book meant to be savored, revisited, and discussed. Each essay is an invitation to dig deeper, to question more, and to embrace the full spectrum of human experience. Whether you're in the midst of change, seeking healing, or simply wanting to think differently, these essays provide a compass for the journey inward and onward. So after all these reflections, which essay will linger in your mind long after you close the book? What new questions will you ask yourself as you go about your day? Will you challenge your old stories, embrace your fears, or finally make peace with your imperfections? How will you use these insights to shape your next chapter? And most importantly, which thought will you choose to think differently today? If you're ready to keep exploring the books that change you from the inside out, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us here at BitBooks, where every story sparks a new question. What book should we dive into next? Let us know in the comments.